Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a video tutorial on how to cook delicious shrimp jambalaya. Now, on today's video, we're going to go ahead and take the beautiful ingredients here: shrimp, onions, kielbasa, peppers, celery, Hunt's tomato paste, I can't read those other ones, and some bouillon. We're going to go ahead and try and, edit all the little factors in there towards the end. Maybe I'll be able to read them. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. You have just walked into a lazy video. In this lazy video, we're going to go ahead and just throw a bunch of bowls up on the screen. And I don't know about you, but this view that I'm looking at here is kind of, it's kind of putting me into a little bit of a vertigo feel. Not really feeling so great about it. But, that's okay. See how I just kind of dumped that gross shrimp all over the cutting board there? That's a no-no. Don't do that. What you're going to want to do instead is you're going to want to dump out all that water first and then put the shrimp onto the cutting board, not the other way around. You see, when you put it the other way around, it gets really gross, water gets kind of everywhere, and you got to clean it up. That's not okay. So here in front of us, we have some nice, delicious cooked shrimp. Now, it's important to note that this cooked shrimp was pre-cooked, not by me, but by the store where we bought it. It's also kind of frozen right now, kind of not frozen. So, yep, just go ahead and, start detailing your shrimp. On the other hand, if you wanted to use uncooked shrimp, I highly recommend that one because you can get that detailed, deveined, and blah, 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 whatever else. Crustacean isn't so gross. So, but if you did want to get cooked stuff, just go ahead and cook it up, throw it into a bowl already pre-cooked, and then leave the tails right on top of everything. You don't want to get rid of the tails. Very important part of the process. Moving on to the kielbasa here, as you can see, I'm already cutting it up. Looking pretty darn good. Oh, look at that jump cut straight to where we have a bunch of them all together. Num num nums. Throw that into the green bowl. Now, like I said, you just want to leave those shrimp tails up there. You don't want to take those away. They really add to the aroma of everything that you're doing there. I don't think that's right. It's a visual word, and I don't know what it is. But we're just going to go ahead and throw the rest of that, bam, right into that green bowl. Perfect. Now, we want to go ahead and take out some chicken breast. Now, quite frankly, we kind of just threw this all together. Now, there was a recipe to it, and I don't really know what it was. I wasn't really paying attention when my wife gave it to us. She's just like, here, grab all these ingredients, and so I did. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and take this chicken, cut it all up, and turn it into cubes. Now, it's very important. We want to do cubes. Okay, just chunking it, not good enough. All right. Now, as you can see, bam, perfect. I've already messed it up. I've given up on the cubes, and now we're chunking it. So we're going to go ahead and just chunk up all the chicken after taking off all that fat. That was a very important step. If you miss that step, well, that's just too bad. Now you have fatty chicken going into your jambalaya. And I guess that's okay for some people. But for, food connoisseurs such as myself, we don't deal with that. So go ahead and take up your supposed to be cubed, chunked up chicken and just throw that right on into a yellow bowl. Just like with the kielbasa, it's got to be a yellow bowl. It can't be anything else. The reason for that is because if it's anything else, they'll just jump right out at you. They don't call them yellow belly for nothing. Anyway, so we just want to go ahead and clean up that cutting board there because what we're going to put on it next, we don't want gross chicken on. Peppers. Num num for the peppers. Now, peppers are super delicious. They're very high in vitamin C, and they're very tasty. And I don't know if those are true facts right there. I just kind of said some stuff. So, take that for what it is, for what I said it is. Now, we just want to kind of strip it up and then, boom, cube it. You see how we cubed it? Oh, delicious cubing. Now, unlike the chicken, this isn't chunking, right? Actual cubing. And then we're going to throw up our waste into the... See, look at that. We're just going to put it into that little handle right there. Ah, perfect. It's just like a little funnel. Put it right in the little funnel there. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and take our waste from this stuff and just put it up with the shrimp tails for some reason. All right, celery. We want to make sure that these are nice, kind of larger chunks. We don't want them to be too thin, because they'll just kind of melt away. Or we don't want them to be too thick, because who wants thick celery in their jambalaya? Come on, guys. Go ahead and just put that right on through that little hole right there. Bam! Oh, look at that. Perfection. Okay, so, yep, scrape that knife off right there. And, yeah, just make sure that we keep the trash pile just right up at the top of the screen. We don't want to put it anywhere else. We want it to be right at the top of the screen. Okay, now the onions I did not do. I have to admit. As you can see there, those are not... Maybe those are not my hands. Those are not my hands. That happens to be my wife, taking on the very difficult, dangerous process, of course, of cutting the onions. Now, onions, as you may know, they have very sad stories, and as you cut into them, they start telling them to you, and you just can't help it but cry. And, well, that's no good. So she took on that responsibility of making the onions cry, throwing it into our little extra bowl, and throwing the waste right up on top of the shrimp tails. Because, you know, like I said, you have to detail the shrimp, throw those up in there, and now it looks pretty. Okay, so we're almost done here, chopping up these onions. A good cry is very healthy. And obviously, make sure you have a big enough bowl. That's something I probably should have said at the very beginning, but I didn't. I didn't say that. So just go ahead and throw that right on into the bowl. Perfect. Just like that. Crying is okay, as I said. Just be sure to not rub your eyes after you know, putting onions and chopping them and holding them and touching them. Don't do that. Now it's okay to throw the shrimp away. It's okay to do that now. Mostly because we're pretty much done with all of our ingredients. Now, that's shrimp, that's kielbasa, that's chicken, and that's just a mixture of peppers and celery and onion. Yum, yum. Now, we want to go ahead and put some jasmine rice. You could use white rice. You could use microwave rice. However you want to do it. We use a rice cooker. Now, what we do technically is we take the rice here, we clean it up a good 3 or 4 times, get it, you know, nice and shaken in there. We dump the water out. This time, it's already been pre-rinsed and whatnot. As you can see, it's still a little milky in there. Fake skim milk. Anyway, now what we're going to want to do is we're going to go ahead and get our pot ready. Our stirring utensil, in this case, is going to be that. Put a little bit of, looks like a tablespoon of oil. I don't know if I actually did that or I just kind of threw it in there. Now, right here is kind of important. We want to make sure that you can really feel that heat coming up and off of there. Now, we don't want a sizzle on the oil. We just want to go ahead and throw the oil in there and make it nice and, well, hot. Now we're going to throw our kielbasa in there. And as you know, kielbasa is ready to go at any point in time. We're just kind of looking for a brown kind of texture on that. Not just on the kielbasa, but also on the bottom of that there. Now, as you can see, right down there at the very bottom where my hand is completely covering up, that right there is the brown that we're looking for. We want it to be nice and dark. Now, we're going to throw our vegetables right on into that juice, that delicious juice. Here, it's kind of important. Now, honestly, we really didn't time anything, didn't really pay attention to anything that we were doing here. Just kind of threw it all together and called it good. And as you can see, it's coming out great. So we've got the vegetables all kind of browned up and mixed together. Now we're going to throw our chicken in there. We want to make sure that the chicken that has been chunked is going to get cooked really nicely. So we're just going to also go ahead and throw in our tomato paste there, apparently. Just throw that right on it. Give a good mix. I am pretty sure that's bouillon broth. Those are seasonings of the aforementioned type. They're tasty. That's about all I can remember telling you about them. Yep. Oh, hey, and look at that. We're going to take... Ooh, look at that boil. Oh, that brown, delicious boil. Give that a good old stir. Take that right... Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's so delicious looking. Oh, so good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take our cooked shrimp. Because it's already cooked, just throw that right on in there. This is the last thing we want to throw in there. We're really just heating that shrimp up. Get out of there, stupid thing. Just heating it up, getting it nice and toasty and warm in there. We're also paying attention to, you know, just the overall consistency and texture just of everything as we're putting it in there. As you know, texture is very important. Mix that all up because you need a good mixing in there. Very good mixing. And that is pretty much going to cover it. We're just about ready to serve up. Now make sure you have some extra bowls. I know we used a lot of bowls, but you want to get, you know, just some extra bowls. Oh, you can see my gut just right there. Oh, delicious. Look at that body. Tasty. And right there, we're going to put our rice at the bottom of the bowl. Scoop ourselves some real big, juicy chunks. That's right. Give a good stir. Find those big, chunky pieces. Throw that right on into the bowl. Now, this was an absolutely fantastic way to spend our time. Now, let's go ahead and give a review on the food itself. The food itself, I would give probably 4 out of 10. Yep, that's right. 4 out of 10. The food, I would not try again. It was way too spicy. The chunks of everything in there just threw it off really bad. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, the whole actual project of that was a terrible, total disaster and nightmare. 0 out of 10, would not recommend. Unless, of course, you just forgot about all that, threw a bunch of those meats together with all those seasonings and oils and stuff like that with a bunch of rice. See, then that would be good. Minus, of course, some of the seasonings. We put something in there. I think it was cayenne pepper or something. Way too hot. Point is, don't eat. Really not super great. Did not get better over time. Really wouldn't recommend. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. I'm so grateful that you guys tuned in. Happy to help, facilitate home cooking and delicious exploration of the mouth region. Definitely give it a shot if you are brave enough to try it. Like I said, tasty, but not so tasty. 4 out of 10. Probably will not eat again. Actually, considering that it's been a couple of months since we made that and we haven't eaten it again, I'm going to go with we're not going to eat it again. Anyway, guys, this has been delicious kitchen tasty time with Rich and his wife, who isn't here but was going to be here and is not here. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy those meals. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.